Today I am going to put one of my garden beds to sleep. A couple of the beds that I have in my lower garden, my big garden, were created before I started practicing no-dig gardening. And I have been layering on since then with the organic materials that I normally use. But these particular beds were what used a method called double digging, which I did a video on last year. I will never do that again because for me, it resulted in really, really hard compacted soil in places. Productive garden beds, but really, really hard to work. The bed that I'm doing is about 12 feet long and about 3 feet wide. It had the lima bean tower in it and some marigolds and squash earlier in the year. And I am going to go ahead and fork it, and then I'm going to add some alfalfa pellets, and then I'm going to add some compost, and then I'm going to top it off with spoiled hay. That is one of my typical ways of doing it. I have a couple of variations. I'm going down as far as I can. It's not necessarily the easiest thing to do, but I'm just going to loosen this up as much as I can. I also have a broad fork that I could use. And I probably should have because it would be a little faster and it goes a little bit deeper. But this is going to do. Use your body weight. It's not so hard. I'm just opening up the soil a little bit. I'm not lifting. I'm not tilling it. Just kind of creating some little pockets for air and moisture to get in and all those good things that I'm going to put on here. So water is a pretty essential part of this whole process. You want to keep your beds nice and watered because the microorganisms are going to thrive. It's going to activate any composting that's going to happen as well. All right, so I just put a little layer of water in here. It's already going to start to seep into those holes that I've made. Next comes the alfalfa pellet. Do not have to use alfalfa pellets. I choose to use these because I think it adds good organic matter in. It adds a lot of nutrient in. There's a lot of nitrogen in here and also other enzymes that can really help with your garden productivity. It's relatively cheap. Again, it's not necessary, but it's just something that I do, and I have found it's very nice and useful. I have not had trouble with critters coming in and digging up the alfalfa pellets. I thought I'd have trouble with the rabbits and various critters, and I should never say never because, you know, it could happen tomorrow. It hasn't yet. All right, so the pellets come out hard and you're going to moisten them and they'll start to break down. So there go our alfalfa pellets. Now we do another watering, a really good watering in of the alfalfa pellets. Actually, what will happen is all the soil organisms will come up, the worms will come up, they'll be integrating all of this stuff into the earth below, and this will be a wonderful bed to plant in, as it was this year. It's not that the double dig beds were bad. Of course, mine have been amended now for a few years. It's just that they're hard to dig in this hard clay soil of mine. Next comes compost. This is my homemade compost. I'm proud to say this year I actually have compost that I can do more than 2 beds with. I've already done 4. This will be bed number 5, and it's a major bed, so I consider that a win. If I wanted to, I could rake it in, but I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna let it sit here. I'm gonna moisten it down. Compost loves the moisture. The organisms continue to work, and they, like us, the soil needs water. It's living stuff. Next thing I'm gonna do is get my hay mulch. This is spoiled hay that I'm gonna be using on here. Okay, I'm gonna answer the question that I've answered many times about hay and straw. I use both hay and straw, but my preference is for hay. I think it has more nutrient value. I think it breaks down a little faster. Straw is a little bit better insulator, but I like hay because it's the grass. And just for the same reason that you feed hay to animals, and I'm feeding the hay to my soil. Okay, so people say you can't use hay because it's got grass seed in it. Yeah, that can happen, and you'll have grass. You'll be planting a big bed of grass. This is why the operative word is spoiled hay. Hay that's been out. Hay that's had a chance to rot some and break down. This adds amazing organic mass to your soil. Now you can look around my garden. You can see where I've had hay. Do you see a field of grass inside my garden? No, you do not. That does not mean to say that it will never have grass seed in it, because it does. But usually you can pluck it out really super easily because your hay mulch is pretty deep. Or you can smother it out by just putting more hay on, keeping the light out. I'm putting this on about 4 to 6 inches deep. It really composts down it'll compost very quickly. And I do break up these, the thick mats of it, because that's not really doing the job that I want it to do for this purpose. It might have some mushrooms in it. Yeah, that happens. That's just breaking down the hay. I need to get some more. I'm going to give this a water down. Then we're going to call it done. And so there we have it. It's all done. I can just move on to the next bed. The bed right next to me still has some winter things, some fall crops in it. It's got some potatoes and it's got some choys, some bok choys in it. So I can do half of that bed. I'm also going to clear this one back here. It's kind of wild because things are still growing. All right, well, that's all there is for today. I thank you so much for watching. I hope your garden is growing well and you're doing well. Take care. Bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, it'd be nice to share this channel with someone who loves to garden and cook, and you can help me grow. Thank you. Bye.